Welcome to adilas. This tutorial is going to be covering what we call a check request. This is where you can have someone who's doing your payables put them into the system in the check request format, and it allows managers or owners to approve any item, any request that is, prior to printing a check out. And to show you what I mean by that is from the main switchboard homepage. If I go under System Time and Requests and go to the Check Request homepage, you can see that I don't have any items here that are under request right now. In order to add an item that already exists in the system, just to kind of quickly show you, I can go to the Payables homepage, which is also available from the main switchboard homepage. You can go under System Liabilities to your payables. So this is where they placed items to be paid. And if I go down to, I'll just randomly pick one here. Say I want to pay this bill for some steel. What I can do is I can go over here and say pay. I can pay either a portion of it or all of it. And once I hit pay, I can then go down and I can change this as a check request right here. Okay? And it says if checked, no other payment information is needed. And that's because I don't really know what the check is. And I do need to add a type here on this, and this one is going to be inventory. And I'll create a receipt. Okay, so now I have expense receipt number 41. The type that it is a check request. And if I go back, notice the image gallery here is waiting for me to scan the check-in that I would associate with this. So if I go back to the home page again, and then I could give my manager a call or whomever, and I could ask them to go to the check request. Here's the check request homepage, and here is that request that we made for $47, and they can approve it, and then they can submit it for processing. And once they submit it for processing, then the user can go back and come back onto the check request homepage again from the main switchboard, and they can come up and view any of these that are ready to be paid. So if I go to the search hide criteria, there's a little link here. It's called TBA Approvals. You can also type TBA up under here under expense receipt. So if I went up to expense receipt and I typed in TBA here, it would give me the same as clicking on this link here. TBA stands for to be approved. So the check type is to be approved. And what we can do then is we can just edit this, and then I would go down and I would put in my check number on the edit payment line here. So I'll say I had check number, and I've already chosen the bank that I wanted to pay it out of, and then I would edit the payment. Once I edit the payment, now I'm able to come down and I have my print check. And then my print check pulls up. I can click on print check, and then once I do that, I'll go back and this print button would have disappeared, and I'd be able to print my check, and then this expense would be done. So in recap, a check request is where you would create an expense receipt and you would simply do a new check request. This is one for the same payee. So if I wanted to pay the same vendor and do a check request, and that's opposed to just creating a normal expense receipt. A normal expense receipt gives you the print button down here right away. A check request doesn't. It queues it up into that check request, and then a manager with the permissions has to approve it before we can pay it. And that's the basis of the check request. And once again, thank you for using adilas.